Community Action News with Rick Godley, CAN. Remember, when you can't, maybe together we can. Community Action News, CAN.
Rick Talk.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Rick Godley alongside Eric Hanna. We're sitting in the Gem Theater, Dubach, Louisiana, pretty close to the fruition of a dream Eric had less than 3 years ago. And the grand opening, by the way, the Gregorian date on the calendar today is May 20th. There is a special invitation May 21st, but the grand opening is May 22nd, and it's going to be Star Wars. The Star Wars feature is going to open up in theaters across the United States of America and Dubach, Louisiana.
That's a natural progression. We've got Boston, Chicago, Los Angeles, St. Louis, Dallas, New York, and Dubach.
and Dubach, Louisiana. Well, I've known Eric, I'm going to say about 4 years or so, and he talked about this vision and this dream. And as I watched the progression, what's coming to my mind is 5 easy pieces, not so much the motion picture, but you have managed to pull pieces and parts of the puzzle of recreating.
That's because I have no budget, so I had to do what I had to do to make it work.
Mr. Resourceful. So quickly we'll go over them. One is the theater is from France. The seats, the screen is from France. That's the story. The seats are from Detroit. Correct? Sound system from St. Louis. The projector from St. Louis. And even another theater participated in the puzzle.
The popcorn machine.
Oh my gosh! You want to start there? Or you want to start at the theater?
I flew to Bangor, Maine. Nicest people on earth in Bangor, Maine. I swear, they're Southerners and they just don't realize it. Just saying. But anyway, I flew up there and got thousands of dollars worth of popcorn equipment because a real nice gentleman up there didn't want to see it thrown out. And selling that kind of stuff is so heavy and it's so hard to package, and the logistics, and they had to get it out of storage because they had sold the property. The real estate was worth a lot of money. So he said, if you can get up here and get it, I pretty much let you have it. So I flew up there, rented a U-Haul, and spent 3 days driving back with it.
You did a solo road trip.
Well, actually I had help. I had somebody that it's a long story, but there was another theater that went, apparently theaters don't make it in Bangor, Maine. There was another theater that went out that had some Christie projectors, some expensive projectors that they were in the same situation, had to be moved out. So a friend of mine who's my consultant out of Memphis, he was with me on the road trip back to Memphis, and we unloaded his projectors, and then I drove the rest of the way to Lincoln Parish.
Got it. So the popcorn machine that you'll experience is authentic. And how did Bangor, Maine even find out about you? How is this whole networking thing happening?
Man, social media, there are no secrets anymore.
Right. And so, okay, let's go to the screen from France. Where in France? You didn't fly to France, did you?
Oh, no, it's just and there's no backstory there, really.
Right.
That's just where they're manufactured. This is a Harkness. It's probably the Cadillac of movie theater screens. And Harkness, somehow or another, like so many industries, never bounced back from COVID. And for reasons unexplained, they moved production to France, somewhere in France. I don't know where.
Right.
I just know I had to pay tariffs on it.
You and I took a walk through, gosh, I want to say that was a year and a half ago.
Yes.
And there was some screens on the floor at the time that you had maybe thought that maybe you could recycle them.
Yes.
That didn't work out.
Big shout out to Adam Holland with the Fisk Theater over in Oak Grove. The theater at the time was the property of the Chamber of Commerce, and it was nonprofit, and he just rented from them, and there was a government grant available, and they got $13,000 for a new screen, and the screen that he had still functioned. It was just 30 years old. And he called and said, hey, you want this old screen? And I said, well, let me think about it. Yeah, I'll take it. It just didn't work out. When we got ready to try and hang it, it was coming apart, and we've done all this work on this. I don't want to do all this work and then have a screen that's less than perfect. And the price of these things, believe it or not, have actually come way down. I was expecting to pay $13,000 for that screen, and I paid a fraction of that.
All right, so for folks for the future who are going to watch this, Gem Theater Dubach, that's the website, correct?
Gem Theater Dubach is the website. That's where you can, gemtheaterdubach.com. That's where you can go to look at showtimes, coming events. We're almost, I'm going to say sold out. I think we got 20 seats left, but those seats would go so fast, I don't recommend anybody driving up here to try and get one of those seats. If you want to see the movie, get online and get the seat, because I can't guarantee you that you'll drive here and it will be here. Now Saturday we're still good. I think we've still got about 70 seats left on Saturday, and then showtime starts again on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I just went live with those on the website. I hadn't even advertised to tell everybody, hey, we've already started booking for next week. I need to do that when we wrap this up.
Well,
but anyway, those will be available if you want to pick a time, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. If we sell out all of these showings and people ask me to, I may throw in a matinee somewhere or something like that. I've got that flexibility.
But Gem Theater Dubach, you want to bookmark that, because not only for the opening, which is going to be happening, but for future events as well. And what Eric's talking about, as much as I love the 13-mile drive over the hilly 4-lane, 65-mile-an-hour ride from Ruston to Dubach.
Oh, don't stop there. It's a Primrose Path. Oh, come on, it's just 167.
I say 160. But you don't want to come up here and there may not be a ticket. That's where I'm going with that.
We don't want that.
And in this day and age, so plan ahead, please. Plan ahead, please. Don't be disappointed.
Or call. Call and ask if you're a computer child, and just call the numbers. Phone numbers posted on the website. You can call. And the reason why is, let's talk about seating capacity. Yes.
Because it is limited.
Right now, we have 150 seats. We carpeted the balcony, and we cleaned the balcony up, and we hope to have some of that seating available in about 2 weeks. At a minimum, 2 weeks, we should have some of that seating available.
The Gem Theater, gemtheaterdubach.com, Eric Hanna. This is like pretty exciting, coming to full fruition. When did this dream, or it's not even a dream, when did the idea start to percolate with you and you said, you know what, I'm going to take the next step beyond the first step? And was there any part of the process where you said, what the hell have I done?
Oh, God, yeah. Man, did you see this place when I bought it?
Oh, yeah, you and me toured this place when you...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I blocked that out.
No, we have documents on that, so...
No, I mean, even when it was at its worst, and yeah, it was bad. It would have had to have been swept up and picked up a little bit to be a disaster area. But anyway,
the second step you took after saying, you know what, I'm going to go for it.
We had to clean it up, and just cleaning it up was a monumental task.
Well, but speak to that, because you had some volunteers. There's a great spirit in Dubach that's stirring.
Dubach Legends, I'm proud to be a member of Dubach Legends. We're a nonprofit, and our stated sole purpose is to try and bring Dubach back, make things, improve things, restore Dubach to its former glory. And this is a pretty good first step.
Yeah.
You reckon?
Well, if I were the teacher, it wouldn't be an A, it would be an A+. And the wow factor that you're going to experience, and everybody's going to experience, because, Eric, when we were talking in the lobby, so many, I guess, miraculous happenstances have happened to you. You know, the synchronistic things is that, you know, who was it, Melissa, that just did the drawing? Ashley,
yeah.
And I'm thinking, you know, here we are in a moment in time, and you're creating or recreating an old moment in time, and so we're doing that for the future. I mean, if you keep perspective of history and present and what you've done right here for how long we know into the future, I mean, this is what, you know, creating a remarkable future in Dubach. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, I think that this is gonna start a chain reaction.
It's a matrix melter.
Okay, if you say so. But yeah, I think that there will be other things that will follow, because there will be people here, and if there's people here, somebody's going to say, you know what, I'd like to feed those people, or I'd like to provide those people a place to have a drink after the movie, or I don't know, a discotheque. I don't care, anything.
Yeah.
As long as we get people coming to Dubach and we start restoring the downtown, and edit that out. I don't want anybody to think I want a discotheque in Dubach.
No, we're going to keep that, because that will bring people in. I already want to do some kind of a Pretty in Pink movie, but open to discussion. You want to watch the website for Eric, because he's done everything. Gem Theater Dubach for future events and bookings and all that. And then
well, that is true, but to keep up with the history, because the posts go all the way back. Actually, my Facebook page probably has a better continuity of everything that's gone on.
Gem Theater Dubach.
The Gem Theater Gem. Yeah. Oh, now you got me confused.
Well, they'll find it on Facebook. It'll pop up.
Look up Gem Theater of Dubach. The Gem Theater of Dubach. There's an "of" in there. The Gem Theater of Dubach. And my goodness, I don't know how it happened. I just woke up. I went from like 34 followers to about 1,800 followers overnight.
Hey, is Glenn Neville coming?
Yes, Glenn Neville. Matter of fact, his son just messaged me. Mr. Neville may not be able to stay for the whole evening, but he's going to stay for the event.
So he has
not
seen this inside yet, has he?
No. The last time he was here, it was still a disaster.
Right. And tell folks who Glenn Neville was. He was the last one to operate these projectors?
He wasn't the last one.
No?
That was a misnomer that I apologize for creating. I created that misnomer. I thought he was. He operated probably the last person to operate the projector was Jimmy Lane Johnson, who is of course no longer with us. But Mr. Neville ran that projector in 1949 and 50.
The ones that were originally here when you opened the doors again?
Yes, the old carbon arc projectors, the ones that I have stored next door. Explain
that to the audience, because it is mind-boggling. They're carbon arcs on film that has gunpowder.
Well, okay, that's an oversimplification.
I know it is,
but that's basically it. What I always tell people was the way it worked. There were no bulbs. They didn't have bulbs back then. What they had was a machine that had gears that moved the holders toward one another at a specific speed. It was pretty neat technology for 1930s when it was developed. But what it did was it moved these two contacts together, and they put a carbon arc rod in each one, and they could pick up one end of it and touch it to make a circuit like striking an arc of a welding rod, and then they would set the gap, and the gears that turned moved those carbon arcs together, and they would burn off, because you don't ever want them to touch. If they ever touched, the light would get so bright that it would catch the film on fire, which is another story. But anyway, operating a projector back then is not, mine involves keying in some times for it to start. It even turns and dims the lights. It dims the lights, turns the bulb on the projector, turns the surround on. It does all that. I just key it in and it does it. Well, back then, they had to, first of all, like Gone with the Wind was 9 reels. You had to take it and you had to put it in 17-minute reels so that you could you would start the arc burning, and you'd run one projector and it would play the reel, and there were cues. If you ever watch old movies on TV, you see what looks like a cigarette burn up in the upper corner. What those were timing cues to tell the projectionist it's time to start the other projector. And then they would drop a dowser on it so that they could start the other one, and they would block the one that they had just started and start it so that there weren't two showing at the same time. And for about the last 30 seconds, 2 of them were running, and then he would shut that one off as he picked the other one up. And Mr. Neville said that he was good at it, and the audience couldn't even tell that he had swapped projectors.
There's a skill to it.
But somebody said, well, why don't you keep one of those working? Well, I'll tell you why I'm not going to use one. That 35 millimeter film was made out of basically the same chemical composition that modern gunpowder's made out of. And those carbon arcs burned at 7,000 degrees, so nothing bad could happen there. Nothing bad.
All right, Gem Theater of Dubach, talk about the sound system, because you spared no expense on that one, and I can't wait to hear it.
Oh, yeah, I did. I got it with the same place I got the other projector. I got it out of a theater and...
Yeah, but I mean, it's
But
not,
it's a good system.
It's a great system from what I can see. I
got it the same place I got the projectors.
All right, so what else?
I got a deal.
Of course you did. What else could we say, my friend, to just capture the moment in time? And
well, you were asking about everything, where everything came from. The popcorn came from Maine. That came from France. Seats came from St. Louis. The Detroit. From Detroit to Dubach. The seats came from Detroit. This is there's pieces of theaters from all over the world in this in here.
Awesome job. The Gem Theater Dubach. Bookmark that. Find out more. Follow the Facebook page, Gem Theater of Dubach, and we'll keep you informed. Eric, all the best, my friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Please drive carefully and arrive home safely. Good night.